There was a time when one man made an entire nation believe. When the name Kadenge was not just a footballer's name, it was a feeling. But behind the cheers and songs was a man who carried pain, dreams, and the weight of Kenya's hopes. This is the story of Kadenge and Mpira. But how did a barefoot boy from Western Kenya become a legend remembered by generations? Before the crowd shouted his name, before commentators made him immortal, there was just a small boy in Soliani village running after a ball made of banana fibers. His real name was Joe Kadenge, born in 1935 during colonial Kenya, a time when opportunity was rare and dreams were a luxury. His home was simple, his world was small, but his spirit was bigger than anything around him. Every evening, young Kadenge waited for the goats to settle. Then he ran to the dusty field behind his home. Barefoot, shirt torn, heart full. Kids played for fun, but Kadenge played like someone who had something to prove, like someone who saw a future no one else could see. He joined Maragoli United, a small community club where his talents started making noise. Nobody had ever seen a boy so fast, so fearless, so joyful with the ball. Soon he moved to AFC Leopards, and that's where the legend began. Crowds filled stadiums just to watch him run. Opponents feared him. Fans adored him. Kenyan football had found its first true superstar. But fame brings pressure. And life was about to test Kadenge in ways football never could. Behind every legend is pain the world never sees. Kadenge's struggles were heavy. 1. Injuries that broke his body. He played in an era with no sports doctors, no physios, no protection. One knee injury, one moment, almost ended everything. He could barely walk. Doctors told him to stop. But Kadenge was fighting more than pain. He was fighting poverty. He was fighting for dignity. He was fighting for the only thing he knew how to do. 2. A game without money. In the 50s and 60s, football in Kenya didn't pay players weren't stars. They were volunteers. Kadenge played for passion, not salary. While fans celebrated him, he went home to a simple life, struggling to provide for his family. 3. Broken promises. Many leaders promised to support him. Few kept their word. Kadenge watched as players in Europe became millionaires. But in Kenya, legends grew old without pensions, without care, without recognition. 4. Personal loss. The toughest chapters of his life were not on the pitch. He lost family members. He lost opportunities. He lost people he loved deeply. But through it all, Kadenge still smiled when speaking about football. He said, "Mpira immortal mbali, I would do it again." But even with all this pain, something unforgettable happened. A moment that reminded Kenya who he truly was. The late 1950s and 1960s were Kenya's golden football years. And at the center of it all was Kadenge. When he joined the national team, Harambee Stars, everything changed. Suddenly, Kenya wasn't just participating, Kenya was competing. Every touch of the ball electrified stadiums. Commentators struggled to keep up with him. Then came the words that changed everything. Kadenge Mpira, shuti, gual. That line became part of Kenyan identity. It was shouted in buses, markets, schools, homes. It turned a man into a myth. He united a nation. In a country divided by tribe, politics, and hardship, Kadenge made everyone stand together. He didn't just score goals. He gave people hope. Recognition from presidents, even presidents admired him. Years later, President Uhuru Kenyatta visited him and called him a true Kenyan hero. No car, no mansion, no millions, just respect and love from the people. The icon lives on even after retirement. He continued training young players. He remained a guardian of Kenyan football. He stayed humble. He stayed present. He stayed Kadenge, the boy who chased dreams in the dust. But the biggest wave of emotions came the day Kenya said goodbye to him. When Joe Kadenge passed away in 2019, Kenya didn't just lose a player. Kenya lost a symbol, a thread that connected generations. People cried, not because they knew him personally, but because they felt like they had grown up with him. His name became immortal. Kids who never saw him play still imitate him. Coaches still teach his moves. Fans still say his name with pride. What his life teaches us. Kadenge's life is a reminder. You don't need wealth to be great. You don't need fame to be remembered. Greatness comes from passion, from humility, from giving everything you have, even when life gives you nothing back. He left a challenge for the future. Kenya is still waiting for the next Kadenge, the next dreamer, the next child who will make the stadium rise again. So who will answer that call? Who will carry the torch he left behind? Joe Kadenge showed us that a legend isn't measured by trophies, but by the people he inspires. If this story touched your heart, drop a comment below. Tell us, what memory or lesson from Kadenge's life inspires you the most? Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Space 4, where we keep African football stories alive, where we honor legends, where we celebrate our past to inspire our future. Kadenge Mpira, forever.